Okay, so picking up on number 2 where we were at, we had that our sample size was 51, X bar was 55.2, our sample standard deviation was 9.3, and they wanted us to do an 80% confidence interval. So thinking about how this is going to go onto a bell curve, we've got 80% in here, which means I've got 20% outside. When we cut that in half, that's going to give us 10% or 0.10. So if we go to our chart, okay, I'm going to pull this down. So we've got 0.10 is here. Now, our sample size was 51. That means we're going to go all the way to line 50 because, again, degrees of freedom is n minus 1. So we're going to come all the way down. Down. Here is 50, and it's 1.299. Okay, so that's going to be our value. So T sub alpha over 2 is going to be 1.299. Now, in order to find our margin of error, which again is T sub alpha over 2 times S over the square root of N, okay, this is 1.299 times 9.3 over the square root of 51. So when you put that onto a calculator, you are going to get 1.6916. Okay, so now to create our confidence interval, we're going to take our 55.2 and we're going to subtract that 1.6916, and we're going to take 55.2 and we're going to add 1.6916. So we're going to wind up getting 53.5054 to 56.8916. Okay, so there's how we got our confidence interval for that one. Okay, so again, the difference here is we're using a T value instead of a Z, and we're using a sample standard deviation instead of a population standard deviation. Now, the question always comes up, how do I know when I'm supposed to use each one? Because you show me stuff where I use the regular bell curve chart, and you show me stuff where I now use this T chart, okay, for where that's coming from. So, to answer your question, okay, if we know sigma, we're using a Z chart. If we're working with P hat, we're using a Z chart. If we're working with a sample standard deviation, we're working with a T chart, okay? Now, the other thing is usually these T charts are done on smaller sample sizes, okay, where your sample size may be 15 or it may be 12 or 7 or something like that. It's going to be a lot smaller. But this is the rule. So if they give me sigma, it's a Z chart. If it gives me P hat, I'm using a Z chart. If they give me a sample standard deviation, I'm using a T chart, okay? So now, there is also a way to put this onto a calculator, okay? So we're going to talk about how to put this onto a calculator. Now, for number 3, okay, so taking a look at number 3, we've got a sample of 256. Now, first off, 256 you can't do off of your table, okay? It doesn't go down far enough. Now, the question comes up, what if I am using my table, but I don't have the value? Say N was 58, and so you need to go to line 57. You go to the nearest closest answer you can. Okay, so if I had something like 57, I would go ahead and go to line 60. Even though that's above, I would go ahead and go to line 60 because it's going to be really close to what it's supposed to be. Now, it says the overall score, the average score, is 5.25. And we have a sample standard deviation, or a standard deviation again, because they said this was on a sample, we know it's S, of 0.85. Now, what they don't specify is the confidence level, okay? So I went in and reworked it, and the confidence interval on this one is 80%, okay? So now we're going to talk about how to put this in on our calculator. Okay, so I'm going to bring our calculator over here. So you're going to go to Stat, okay, and we're going to go over to Test, same place that we were, and this time we are going to use the T interval. It's way down here. It's at number 8. Okay, so let me get back. It's down here at number 8. Okay, so T interval is number 8. Now, we can either give it data or stats. We have stats. We have the information, so we're going to go ahead and use this. So this is our X bar is 5.25. Our sample standard deviation is 0.85. Our sample size is 256. And our confidence level is 0.80. And so we're going to put all that in, and we're going to press enter. And it's going to come out, and it says that our confidence interval is 5.1817 to 5.3183. Okay. Okay. So there is now our confidence interval for that. Now, again, I do not care which one you use. For this particular instance, you're not going to be able to do 256 off the tables, okay? Now, generally speaking, when I do mine and stuff that I stick to stuff that is chartable, okay? Because I'm trying to give everybody the option that if you're not going to be using one of the calculators that has the ability to do this, I will give you the option that you're still able to do the charts. So most of the stuff I picked to do is going to come off of the charts when this is happening, okay? So let's take a look at another one, okay? We're going to go over and look at number 5. I'm going to do number 5 with a calculator as well, okay, just so that we get that process in again, okay? So this is number 5. We have a sample of 126 hip surgeries. The average surgery time is 137.5 minutes with a standard deviation of 22.9 minutes, and they want us to construct a 90% confidence interval, okay? So again, walking into our calculator, we're going to do stat. We're going to go over to tests. We're picking option number 8, T interval, okay? And again, I have the stats, so I'm going to be putting this in. So I'm at 137.5. I'm at 22.9 and 126, and my confidence level is 0.9, okay? So again, I'm just filling in the information from mine, and we're going to have it calculate that for us. So we are at 134.12 to 140.88, okay? So there is our confidence interval for this one. Now then, hopefully this kind of helps clarify and cleans up some information. Again, I'm going to post all the links onto, I'll get them uploaded into YouTube, and then I'll get the links sent over into the other side. Question came up, so you should have all of the homework stuff that you have available. Please be using like Ask My Instructor, stuff like that. I am here. I'm checking my email constantly all day long to pull this information up for you guys. Also, the question came up of when are the tests. I am still planning on doing in-class tests. This is assuming we're coming back on April the 6th or the week of April the 6th. Do look at, I'm pretty sure I put it in an announcement in Canvas that kind of said, here is my plan of attack for the rest of the semester. And I may have had to do like an updated version of that, but that should give you the idea of what we're covering. I'm still planning on doing a recap night the first night we come back, and then test the second night that we're coming back. And then kind of the same thing for the other material. I am planning on doing another 2 sessions next week on Tuesday and Thursday. I'll do chapter 9 on Tuesday, and I'll do chapter 4 on Thursday, and get those processed. They may be similar to how they were tonight. If I can't get it all covered in 40 minutes, then we'll just have to have multiple sessions, and I'll upload multiple videos onto YouTube to have that process. So hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. Like I said, email me, message me in Canvas, anything like that, and I will get back to you and try and answer your questions as best I can. Have a great night.